warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. May the peace, mercy, and blessing of Allah be with you. Hi everyone, I'm Ani Rahmawati. Today we are going to learn about simple present tense. This time, we will learn how to make simple sentence in English. When do we use the simple present tense? First, we use simple present tense when we want to express a fact. For example, the sun rises from the east. That's the fact. And then there are routines or habits. For example, we pray 5 times a day. Third, there is a command or prohibition. For example, close the door. And finally, there is a fixed schedule. For example, the class starts at 7 in the morning. Now, how to make sentence with simple present tense? The first things we need is the subject. Then there is a verb that we can add s or es behind it according to the subject of the sentence. Then we have an object or complement. For example, I read novel, we read novel, she reads novel, he reads novel. And we can see here, when the subject is he and she, the verb read is added as. So, what are the subjects that we add s or es behind? The subjects are he, she, and it. For example, he plays basketball. The basic word of plays is play. We add s because the subject is he. And then, he goes to school. The basic word of goes is go. We add es because the subject is he. And then there is she. She cleans the bedroom. The basic word of cleans is clean. Next, she washes the spoon. The basic word of washes is wash. And then, lastly, we have eat. It eats noodle. The basic word of eat is eat. So, why do we add s or es? Because the subject is he, she, and it. And then, notice again here, there is a verb that is added again s, and there is a verb that is added es. I wonder why. So, the verb that is added with es is a verb that ends in the letter x. For example, my brother fixes my phone. The basic word of fixes is fix. That ends in x. So, let's add es. And then, verbs that ends in ch. For example, she watches cartoon every Sunday morning. The basic word for watches is watch. And we have sh. Leah washes her shoes twice a month. The basic word of washes is wash. Now we have O. For example, he always does his homework at night. So, when the verb ends in x, ch, sh, o, we add es after it. Next, for example, they work at the bank. He works at the bank. And then, I speak English fluently. She speaks English fluently. So, How do we know if a sentence uses a simple present tense other than the basic form of the verb and adds s and es like before? So we usually use the adverb of time. For example, every week, every month, 4 times, every years, and every day. For example, my mother goes to work every day. Next, when we use the adverb of this time and the verb as it was earlier, it's possible that the sentence is in the simple present tense. Then we also have the adverb of repetition. How often do we do something? They're always, often, sometimes, seldom, once, twice. When this sentence uses this often, it means that the sentence is probably in a simple present tense. For example, my mother goes to shopping twice a week. Okay, now let's get into the negative form of the basic word. How do you say no in the simple present tense? English no for the simple present tense is don't, which comes from the word do not, and doesn't, which come from the word does not. So, the way to make sentence is easy. We need a subject and then there are don't or doesn't depending on the subject, and there is an object or complement. Example example sentence, I don't eat fish. If we read I don't eat fish, it means we don't eat fish anymore, but we really don't eat fish. Maybe because of allergies or because you don't like fish. That's the context of the sentence, I don't eat fish. Next, we don't eat fish. He don't eat. He doesn't eat fish. She doesn't eat fish. Here we can conclude the same as before. When the subject is I, you, we, and they, then we use don't. While when the subject is he, she, and it, then we use doesn't. Example for don't. I don't wake up at 6 in the morning. You always don't do your homework by yourself. We don't go to school every Friday. They don't eat pork because they are Muslims. And how about doesn't? She doesn't wake up at 6 in the morning. He doesn't go to school every Sunday. It doesn't eat meat because it's herbivore. We can conclude using doesn't, it's, is he, she, and it. How do you ask question using the simple present tense? We need is do and doesn't. Seeing the shape, we already know what subject uses do and what subject uses does. When we ask do or does, we put in front. Then the subjects and there is an object or complement. For example, do you like spicy food? Do they like spicy food? Does she like spicy food? Does he like spicy food? Here, the uses of does are she and he. So, does who use does are he, she, and it. This means that subjects other than this use do. For example, does he play basketball? The answer is yes, he doesn't. If no, no, he doesn't. And then there is she. Does she have a brother? If yes, yes, she does. If no, no, she doesn't. And then the lastly is it. Does it eat apple? If yes, yes, it does. If no, no, it doesn't. It's very easy. So, in conclusion, the simple present tense is like this. That's for the positive sentence. Example, she lives in Karawang. To say no, she doesn't live in Karawang. What is you ask? Example, does she lives in Karawang? Now, this is the final form of conclusion of the simple present tense. Positive sentence, negative sentence, and interrogative sentence. That's all for me. Thank you for watching. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Bye-bye.